It's a little interesting.
You started out as a podcast guest, and now you're my boyfriend.
I know. Wait, can you say it one more time? You're my boyfriend.
You're my boyfriend.
One more time.
Oh my God, relax.
I'm
Okay, so I think a lot of people are waiting for this episode. They want the backstory. They want the tea.
It's crazy.
So where should we begin? Should we start at the very beginning?
The very, very beginning. Even before the episode.
Yes. The Life of Marin podcast is presented by MAAR Dating Club. MAAR Dating Club is a matchmaking service that represents New York City's most eligible singles. MAAR Dating Club works with professionals who don't have time or interest in dating apps, but still are genuinely ready to find love. We are a boutique firm that focuses on quality matches and guides and coaches our clients throughout the process. Use the link in the episode notes to book your introductory call today. Welcome back to Life of Marin podcast. Today I'm here with a very special guest. You're a return guest.
Return guest.
Welcome back, Harrison Forman.
It's great to be back, Marin.
So, Harrison, how would you describe yourself? Who are you?
So, right now, I have a new title.
What is it?
It's Life of Marin's boyfriend.
Ooh. Oh my God.
So no, it's definitely weird being back in the studio with you. Just thinking about what happened that first time, and now here we are.
I know you started.
Is it trippy? Is it weird for you?
It's weird.
Yeah. It's a little interesting.
You started out as a podcast guest, and now you're my boyfriend.
I know. Wait, can you say it one more time? You're my boyfriend.
You're my boyfriend.
One more time.
Oh my God, relax. Okay, so I think a lot of people are waiting for this episode. They want the backstory. They want the tea.
It's crazy.
So where should we begin? Should we start at the very beginning?
The very, very beginning.
The very
Even
beginning.
before the episode.
Yes.
Okay.
So Harrison reached out to me in August of 2023. He DM'd me. He slid in.
I saw you on TikTok.
Yep.
And I DM'd you to come on my show updating. And immediately you're like, absolutely not. But how do you feel about coming on my podcast?
Yes.
And I said, of course, sounds great. I think it took a few weeks of us going back and forth.
We couldn't coordinate to save our lives.
We did a FaceTime.
Kind of funny.
We did a FaceTime.
Don't skim past it. It was like an hour-long FaceTime.
Our first ever FaceTime. I have no idea what we spoke about.
I just felt very at ease with you.
It was very comfortable.
I remember that. I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah. I was like, she's cool.
Okay. So initial first impression.
Of you?
Yeah.
Cool, fun, obviously very pretty, and just good energy, good vibes.
Okay.
It was almost like instant new, you know when you meet someone, you're like instant new friend.
Yes.
Right? Just
yes.
instantly we had that bond.
I felt that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you came on the podcast. We met.
We met during your show.
Yep.
It was a great episode. So after the episode, we walked outside. I remember being on the street corner, and you brought up like setting me up with your friend or something, like one or two of your friends.
You started it because he was like, I think you need to date someone who's really tall. You said, what else did you say? You were like, let's do double dates together. So you friend zoned me.
We were sending mixed signals, right?
It was
from the
really
get-go.
mixed.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the truth is, I thought you were out of my league.
Stop.
Oh, can we do
There's no soundtrack.
But no soundtrack.
But I don't believe you.
It's true. It's true.
Really?
And so,
Okay.
so yeah, you set me up on not one but two matches, and the whole time I'm on these dates, and I'm like, I'd so much rather be with Marin right now.
Wait, that's the cutest thing
And
you've ever said.
it was just, it was just instantly, the crush started happening, the spark started happening, and
wait, when though? Because you were my featured single. So then
I forgot about
Harrison
that, too.
came to my featured single show, or my mixer, where you were the featured single.
correct.
You came. You didn't hit on me at all.
I
felt
played
very
it
platonic vibes from
I
you.
played it so cool.
Okay.
And there was no strategy. There wasn't like, let me play it cool for a few months.
Right.
Everything kind of happened naturally.
It naturally unfolded.
Naturally unfolded. So after this featured singles
Yep.
event,
The mixer.
After the mixer, we would randomly chat on the phone once a week, right?
Not once a week. I think
Once every
we would
few
text
weeks.
a lot.
We would text once every
Yeah.
few weeks, hop on a phone call. And is this when we booked Tokyo maybe?
No. So then
Okay.
you came to a Halloween party, which I invited you to.
Came to a Halloween party.
Yep.
We're still just friends.
We're still just friends. There was no like energy between us. It was very platonic. But I really liked you. Like every time I saw you, I was happy. Before the Halloween party, we talked on the phone for an hour.
Yep.
Like every time we spoke, I feel like it was a long conversation. And it wasn't just about the plans. It was like we were talking about life, ideas, business, each other's love lives a lot. Like we really want to find somebody, which is funny because now we're together.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah. And then early December,
and those calls were just so easy.
Yes.
They could have, even now, like it's just so.
It flows between us.
It flows, you know, it's like a little tic-tac-toe.
I know. I love it. So then in December, we both were invited to an event. Remember?
In December.
It was the New Yorkers comedy show.
We went to the New Yorkers comedy show.
And Harrison was
friend,
like, yep.
Benji.
Harrison was like, are you going? And I'm like, I don't know if you go, I'll go.
Right. You invited me.
And then we met up before.
We met up before. We had a drink at the bar.
Yep.
And there was just some sort of
vibe
or physical connection that I was like, night. Whoa, she's really pretty.
That night was the first time I felt a vibe with you.
There was a vibe for sure. And I think it was raining after, so romantic.
Yep.
And
I lost my hat and you gave me your hat.
Correct. Yeah, which was nice.
And then you texted me when I got home that night.
I just said, did you make it back okay?
And you never did that before.
Which is what you do for like a date.
I know.
So at this point, you think I started having the crush?
I think
or we
so.
both. Do you think we both started having the crush at the same time? Because we were still just friends.
I think subconsciously, I always kind of liked you.
Aw.
I don't know for sure. Like I just put you in the friend zone so hard that I like didn't even like consider it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird looking back.
It's bizarre.
It feels like 5 years ago.
I know. Okay, so continue. So we went to that. That's when you started to develop feelings. That night, though, was the night you were like, you should come to Tokyo.
That was the first night?
Yes. Okay. And I was like, haha, he's probably asking half of New York to go to Tokyo with him. I didn't think he was serious. And then you sent me an Anthony Bourdain video that night to be
that night?
Yeah, to be like, here's some inspo. Like, I really want you to come. And I was like, oh shit, he's serious.
It was, and I've been trying to go to Tokyo for years.
Yeah.
Bourdain convinced me and I just want to get away, go on the other side of the world. And you were the only person that I asked.
Thank you.
And I had no clue you would be down.
And then
honestly.
that night I was like,
because we were just friends. I'm like, she's gonna say yes to going to Tokyo with me? Like, this is crazy.
No, totally. And I did. I said yes. I was like, I'm down. Let me know when you book tickets. Giving you an out. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe he had too much champagne. Like, I don't know.
What? That's like such a... because most people would throw that out there as like an empty gesture.
Totally.
Like, hey, come to Tokyo with me, like to sound cool. Like I was not joking. You were not joking.
Totally.
We called each other's bluffs in a way, right?
So, yeah, we
it
both
wasn't
were
a
like,
bluff,
hey, I'm down.
We did it. And then I think a week later, I called you to book the flight.
We booked the flight.
And
as just friends. So all my friends were like, are you guys going to get 2 hotel rooms? I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, that's what people do when they're friends. Like, what else would we do?
I know. And if this was a scene, if that moment was like a scene in the movie, it would flash to like you talking to your friends are being like, wait, this is weird. My friends were saying the same thing. Like, wait, 2 separate hotel rooms. This is very bizarre. Are you sitting next to each other
on the flight?
The flight, this makes no sense. And I was pulling my hair out, and I had a few plans that were starting to develop.
Let's hear the
at
plans.
This point.
Okay.
Well, after we booked the flight, the crush became official.
Okay.
There was a crush. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. I'm like, dude, this is insane. Like, you're going to Tokyo with her. I haven't had a crush on someone in a very long time. And I just had a crush. Like, I would wake up like, a move needs to happen. Something needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is silly. This is getting silly. We're similar age. We're both single. I hoped we were attracted to each other. We obviously loved each other's friends.
Yeah.
And so this is when the crush really started happening.
Okay, so we forgot to mention I went to your birthday party.
Correct.
And then at your birthday party, I met your sister and I met one of your good friends named Haley.
Correct.
And both girls, after him and I got together, were like, when we met you at the party, we both told Harrison, why are you not dating her? Which is nice. I like that.
Which is so nice.
Like, they pre-approved me.
They pre-approved you. Even that weekend I was with my sister. She's like, Harrison, Marin seems great. What's going on? And I was like, honestly, I have no idea. I was like, you know what? You're right. This is, the fact that you came to my birthday alone
Yeah.
was amazing. And there was no plan that night to do anything. So, but we were going to Tokyo together.
So then we booked Tokyo. This whole December timeline is really messy.
It's wonky.
There was also like a time, so I could feel that maybe Harrison liked me because I noticed a shift in your communication.
Correct.
So like you were being way more attentive via text. I will say that. And
after the birthday?
The whole month of December. Like after the night at the comedy show.
Right.
That's when I felt the shift. And then
That's true.
I was kind of, but I like was still oblivious.
Well, I think you met like guy friends of mine. I was getting like jelly. Like I was like, wait, I want to be with her, you know?
Yeah.
And I think after that, you're right. There may have been a shift. And I remember one specific phone call, and you were like, wait, I think we could find you someone in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is.
I don't know.
It was becoming insane.
It was getting crazy.
This was getting ridiculous. Like
It's
mixed
funny to
signals
think
to
about.
the mixed signals to the max.
Totally.
And I told you about my plan, right? And if we ended up going to Tokyo as friends.
Yeah. Tell the plan though to the class.
So to the class, if we ended up if nothing romantic happened before our flight to Tokyo, I was going to tell Marin, I was going to tell you this. Okay, we're going on this trip as friends, but one night, let's pretend it's romantic and see what happens.
Which is crazy.
Because
I'm like I'm captive. I'm a captive audience. Like I feel like all your friends told you have to kiss her before you go. Didn't they say that?
Everyone said it, and I guess luckily it was December, so New Year's Eve was coming up.
Yeah.
And there was I reached out to you.
Yeah.
Well, we were planning New Year's Eve for a couple weeks, right?
You texted me, said, what are your New Year's Eve plans?
Right.
And I was just like, let's go to a club. Let's get a group of people together. I still was like kind of oblivious. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Okay, anyways.
And so we were planning New Year's, and what ended up happening, there was a huge group doing more of a low-key thing, and you and I wanted to be out seen. You know, we like looking New York chic, as they call it. So we connected with a friend of mine and his wife, and they were interested in sort of like the four of us doing something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hard double date. It was a soft double date.
It was. He's like, I have 2 married friends. Do you want to join us at the Virgin Hotel? And I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing.
Exactly. And shout out to those 2 friends, Ashoka and Therese, because going into that, I said, look, I'm interested in Marin. You guys are going to be the ultimate wing couple. We'll call it wing couples. I think wing couples need more of a shout out.
I think that's a great name.
And everyone, like all my friends were like, what's going to happen? I got calls at 4 a.m. that night. Did you guys kiss?
Stop.
Yeah.
Who
Missed
all
calls.
knew?
I was sleeping.
That's so funny.
Mike called me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Oh my God. Okay, so then what happened?
We're having a great time at New Year's Eve, and 3, 2, 1, New Year's, we didn't kiss. And my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, nothing's going to happen.
We hugged. It was kind of awkward.
We hugged. It was very awkward.
I could feel the tension though.
It was really, really awkward.
Yeah.
And I was a little let down. I wanted a kiss, but I agree with you afterwards that it was a little
too cheesy.
Cliche and cheesy. And
it was Harry Met Sally.
It was When Harry Met Sally. Wait, did that scene happen? New Year's Eve?
Yeah, they kiss on New Year's Eve. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1 New Year's. Should we kiss on screen right now?
No.
So
I'm too shy.
So we didn't kiss on New Year's Eve. Ball dropped, no kiss. And then I was really down. And then 10, 15 minutes later, we're just out and about by the bar.
We're on the dance floor.
And we kissed. I guess I did probably.
Did you kiss me or did I kiss you?
I like to think it was mutual, but maybe I did make the move. I did make the move.
I think you did.
I made the move, yeah, for sure.
But I was also giving
I
was giving the vibes back. I think you were reading the room.
I was reading the room.
Yeah.
And we kissed, and then that night we kissed on. We were just glued to each other at the bar the whole night.
Yeah. Once we kissed once, like we made out the whole night basically.
We made out the whole night. PG-13 rating.
I know.
We made out.
Parental guidance. No. So then, but it's crazy because like when I got to New Year's Eve, as soon as I got there, Harrison kept saying little things where he was like planting the seed. You were like, maybe you'll be my +1 to this event. Like little things where I was like, oh, he's not said this before.
There were some seeds getting planted.
You were planting a lot of seeds.
The second you walk, because at this point there's full on crush. I felt giddy.
Yeah.
it was, and the cool thing, I'm sure we'll talk about later, because we were friends, we had already approved the person.
Yeah.
And
we knew each other.
We knew each other.
Yeah.
And it was just such the transition was a lot easier than I think either of us thought it would be. Maybe.
Okay, but leading up to, so he kissed me on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We had the best night ever. We went home to our separate ways.
Correct.
Like 3 a.m. We were the last ones at the bar. We
No
were like,
shenanigans.
no shenanigans. We were just talking, and like he was like, I want to take you on a date. He's like, are you available? I love that. You like close the deal right away. You're like, how about Tuesday?
You got to close in person.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
And that I think a lot of people make that mistake because they go home.
They text
then it's like, hey,
after.
Wednesday or Thursday. Just make the plan physically while you're in person.
Yep.
Instead of waiting, just saying, hey, next date. Boom.
You're like Italian
Yeah.
food. I'm like, I love Italian food.
I wasn't gonna let you go.
I know. Oh my God. You're so cute. So extra. So we did the virgin. You kissed me. The next morning, he called me right away. I loved that. Not like 9 a.m. in the morning, but like noon. He called me because we could have had this magical night, and then he could have been like, what just happened? But you kept it going and you made it so seamless. And I think that's you, not me. Like you were like so communicative that I felt comfortable right away.
Aw, thanks. I almost forgot about that phone
Yeah.
call because it just seemed this was too big of a moment to just be like a text.
Yeah.
Hey, last night was wild.
Totally.
I can't believe we kissed. Yeah, this was a big moment.
We debriefed for like an hour.
And we had to debrief verbally.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that
Yep.
decision. I think every action both of us have done have set us on a good course.
Yeah.
For the relationship.
I called my entire family the next morning and I was like, you'll never believe who kissed me last night.
Well, because your family already knew about me and
Right.
they saw some sparks from our first episode.
So that's weird because so many people, including my mom, my sisters, everyone, like a couple of my friends, they saw our first episode and they were all like, why don't you date Harrison? Like my mom would ask about you every time I called her. How's Harrison? I'm like, Mom, we're just friends.
I love it. And my
It's crazy.
dad, after our episode, was like, she just gets you. She gets you. He's like, and he has a sixth sense with many things in life.
Yeah.
And the world. And he was like, I don't know how or what, or she just gets you.
Yeah.
And
which is nice.
which is really
it's a nice
nice.
compliment.
It's a very nice compliment because we're both onions, and it's just
There's a lot of layers.
A lot of layers to each of us, but it's not. But you just like you understood what I was about, and I think I understood what you were about, and that's so helpful.
I mean, you made me laugh, and
Aw.
I feel like there was just like such an ease with
Such an
us
ease.
in our communication. It's funny to think back to.
I know.
But what's funny too is that so we technically moved from the friend zone to romantic.
Correct.
So many people are like, I don't want to ruin the friendship. We even had that
right.
moment.
We did, and looking back, Marin, we were just so dramatic for no reason. Like we weren't childhood best friends.
No, like we met.
We were friends for
3 months before.
3 months.
Yeah.
And we in our heads, we're like, wait, this is my new best friend. And
Totally.
And to be honest, if I really want to open up here, like I was afraid of rejection. I was definitely afraid that you weren't into it. And it was refreshing when you were.
I was very into it. I was into it as soon as we kissed because I already knew I liked you as a person. I thought you were attractive, obviously. But I think the kiss was like, oh, like we have chemistry.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And so after that, like what's holding me back?
I've heard I have many friends who call that pheromones.
Pheromones. It's all about the
Yeah.
pheromones.
No, definitely. It was a great, no, for sure.
Yeah. I like that you were vulnerable. That was cool.
No, it's the truth. It really is the truth. That's why I never made a hard move. It was just this was a slow burn.
It was so slow.
And I don't know about you, but I had never had a friend to romantic situation like this.
I've never had it work
Never.
out. Like this has worked out really well.
I know.
But I was talking to my friend Sarah and I was like, I just love him as a friend. And she's like, Marin, it's worth the risk. She's like, you've known him for 3 months. If you lose him, yeah, it's sad.
No
but
big deal.
It's like,
Hopefully we would.
yeah, it's worth the risk. Like
I agree.
the opposite. What's it called? The gain is worth the risk.
The gain is worth the risk. The
Okay.
ROI.
The
Yeah.
ROI.
Yeah.
No, that's return on
I
investment.
know. High reward, low risk.
Yeah. It was.
The juice is worth the squeeze.
Okay. I've not heard that
That's
one.
from the movie I've told you about.
Which one?
Girl Next Door. We got to
we'll watch that.
Yeah, that's on our list.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
he's
in our
giving
admin note.
our relationship
that, I'm
admin.
sure,
We will
yeah.
get to that. Wait, so I feel like let me just ask a few more questions.
Okay, keep going. Sorry, because
we keep talking.
Do you think this is flowing better than the first time?
I think it's just different.
I agree.
Because now we're like our legs are touching.
They are a little bit.
things have escalated here. Wait, let me just make sure I ask you all the questions though. Oh yeah. So why do you think everyone saw our connection before we saw it? Like we've already kind of talked about it, but even Brandon came on my podcast. Brandon's his co-host at Updating.
Yeah.
And he was like jokingly like, you should date Harrison on air.
And his girlfriend said that, who heard
Yeah.
it. I think we were so, sometimes you're just blinded. You're so in it. And you kind of need your friends to weed through the noise, I guess.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know.
I mean, I was interested for sure.
Okay.
And even just seeing you interview me right now, I'm like, I'm even more interested.
Oh my God. Thank you, baby. Okay. So you already talked, you were afraid to make the move. What pushed you to make what finally clicked in your brain where it was like, I just need to make the move?
When I would wake up in the middle of the night
and be like, I have to do it.
I remember standing up in my apartment like, dude, what are you doing?
Okay. Do you wish I would have made the move?
No, I don't think so. I think everything happened
the
naturally.
way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Because I would never make a move. That's just not my vibe.
Totally. The move had to be made. And also with the also because the Tokyo trip was booked. Like we were going to Tokyo. And
my plane seats though were
the question is if I made the move and you said no, like I prefer to be just friends, but we've still gone to Tokyo.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I was worried too, like what if we go on 3 dates? It's really weird. And then what happens with Tokyo? We have the plane tickets booked.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
We took a risk. We definitely took a risk.
I like it though.
I love it. We're both spontaneous people.
Yeah.
This is our vibe.
Totally. Have you ever, no, you haven't dated a friend before?
No.
You already said that.
Never
I haven't either. Okay. So now we're going to get into our relationship and our timeline.
Okay.
Because it's juicy. It's interesting. Before we do that, quick ad break.
Love it.
This is our new dating journal. It's a 28-day dating reset journal. Harrison loves it.
I love it.
He's a book critic on the side, and he thinks it's the best thing he's ever read.
I've read the foreword 20 times.
Totally.
It's amazing.
But if you are struggling with love, this is a great tool to collect data.
I'm sure a lot of people put in their phone note about dates, but it's so much healthier to write it out.
Or spreadsheets.
Or spreadsheets. Get off technology when you're recapping stuff. Just write it out.
Get in touch with yourself.
It's so healthy to just get a pen to paper.
Yep.
And this journal is beautiful.
I used this journal while I was dating you.
No.
I did. I took notes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the design, 28-day dating journal.
Yay.
I've given this to all my single friends.
You have?
Yep.
And they love it?
Even men are using this.
They are?
Yeah. Which is really cool.
Well, thanks for doing that.
Of course.
Okay, back to the show. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our relationship timeline and where we are now. Because it's been 3 months.
It's been 3 months.
It feels
has it been only 3
It feels like 3 years.
One of my friends calls me, he's like, you're Usain Bolt with relationship.
Bold?
Usain Bolt. It's like the fastest runner ever. He's like, this relationship's like Usain Bolt.
Totally. No, we both are like all in, which is cute. I love that about us
love
though. Okay, so were there any moments? Oh wait, let's quickly walk through our relationship timeline.
Okay.
So New Year's Eve happened.
Correct.
And then the first date, the dinner date, the Italian date happened. Talk about that date, because Harrison says I was giving mixed messages at the date.
Right. I remember I was nervous for this date. I think we both were. So this was our first real date.
Yes.
And I remember you walking upstairs to the restaurant like, Harrison, this is so weird.
That's the first thing I said, which was
and that made me even more nervous.
Why did I say that?
Made me even more nervous.
Weird.
I was like, what?
Sorry.
I was like, doesn't feel weird to me. But we did have a great meal.
Yep.
And, it felt like in a interesting way, it did feel like a regular first date. Like where in my mind, it's like, are we going to kiss? Are we not going to kiss? And I remember we kissed on the lips at dinner after a glass of wine, and it wasn't like a full on make out. So
do you make out all the time?
Well, we had already made out.
Wine?
Well, we had already had a real kiss.
No, I know. So he kissed me and I kissed him back, and I thought it was a nice kiss. And then afterwards, like once
you didn't realize the PDA extent.
I didn't know that part of you yet. And so I was just like, oh, that was a nice little peck while we're eating pasta. Like, I thought it was good. And then I later found out that you were like, you didn't kiss me back.
Well, I didn't know what to think. And then we were on the street corner and we've all been there. The date ends.
Yep.
One of you is waiting for the Uber.
Yep.
And then right before you're about to get in the Uber, we hugged.
We hugged and we kissed.
I don't think we kissed.
I think we kissed.
On the cheek.
No,
Really?
We did kiss on the lips.
Oh, on the lips, but not.
It wasn't like hot and heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It felt like are we friends or dating kiss? It didn't.
I can see that.
Right?
I don't think it was like the most passionate kiss.
Which I think is normal.
We were nervous.
We were nervy.
And we talked all night. Like, we were the last ones at the restaurant. I think that's a great sign.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. Because we were also the last people on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Another good sign.
Yeah. Both the first time we kissed and our first date, we helped close the spot.
And I think
because we were just talking all night.
And we lose time together, which is a good sign too.
Great sign.
But you also mentioned, like, sorry.
The producer's getting emotional. I
know.
I'm seeing tears over here.
So
this
funny.
is, you know.
What am I trying to say? Oh yeah. Another thing we need to talk about was the mixed messages I was sending because I didn't know my red receipts were on, which is nuts.
So that was during the first couple of weeks.
Apple should be sued for that.
Apple should be sued. And as you can tell about me by now, like, communication is
the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing for my personal dating.
Totally.
Right? It's quick text, funny little silly voice notes, phone calls, and you had your red receipts on, and it was driving me crazy.
So I would read the text, and then I would like be strategic and like text a few minutes later.
So you were playing a little game.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
but he saw.
You were playing games?
I didn't mean to. It's just like what I always did.
Yeah.
Because I would read them and be like smiling and be so happy.
I wasn't like pulling my hair out, but it was like I was going to request to take it off.
You were gonna tell me?
Yeah.
How did it come up?
I think I did tell me. Yeah, because I'm a pretty.
You're straightforward.
I'm straightforward.
You're
like
very
if I
direct.
want this, I will tell you. If I don't want that, I will tell you. And hopefully, and you've been the same with me about things you know.
But it's
I'm not
weird
I
that
have things
you can see the red receipt thing, but I can't.
Correct.
Like, we both should be able to see what each other is seeing on the screen.
I agree. I know. It was interesting. So that was during the first couple weeks.
Yeah. And then he told me, and then I was embarrassed for like 24 hours where I was like, holy shit.
I don't even remember how I brought it up.
I don't know. I think you said it on the phone. And then I took them off immediately. I was like Googling like how to turn off your read receipts.
No.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And then.
Did you think you ruined it?
I didn't think I ruined it, but I was like a little bit like embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because I was like trying to be like cool and strategic, and then it like you saw it the whole time. Yeah.
So you were playing these games, but you knew you liked me. So and after that date where we didn't have the full on kiss, you didn't think anything was wrong. You're like, that was a good date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like pretty comfortable. Also, we made plans for the next date.
Correct.
On that date.
Again,
so I know I was gonna see you in like 3 days or 2 days or whenever.
You're right.
Yeah. So I wasn't like, I feel like you were more thrown off
I think
than
so.
I was, but I will say that first date we had, it wasn't like a dream date. Like, it wasn't like that was so dreamy, that went so perfect. I feel like New Year's Eve was dreamy and perfect.
Right.
That date was not great. And then our
I wouldn't say it wasn't great,
Okay.
but it wasn't, wait, wow.
No, wait, sorry.
Oh my
that sounds
God.
bad. No, okay, no.
I mean,
that's not what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm
you
saying that we
didn't-
both felt a little weird.
You didn't leave your glass slipper on the stairs, and I
No.
like retrieved it and like followed you into the starry night.
Oh my God.
Like, sure, that didn't
You're so
happen,
beyond.
but it was a solid date.
It was
but you're right, it
solid.
wasn't the best day of all time. It didn't help. Like, it didn't lead to love that date.
No, but then the next date after that did. And that's when I was like, okay.
The next date after that, I think we had moments for sure.
Where we were just, because the next date after that was Netflix and chill.
It was Netflix and chill, and for those there really weren't shenanigans.
There weren't yet.
And it was, and I just remember we didn't look at our phone all night. We didn't even drink alcohol. We
tea
didn't
and
do
ate
anything.
sushi.
We just
Talked.
had tea and were sober the whole time. And again, it was our first date where there was no curfew of a restaurant or bar. And I do think by date 3, you have to do the apartment thing just to see someone in a different environment. You have to. I just think it's really important.
Especially because we had already been friends.
Exactly.
So it was like, let's progress this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I maybe blacked out because I don't even remember what we spoke about. But I just remember we did get real with each other, and it was just really. It was deep. I don't
know what we spoke about.
I don't even know
either.
what we talked about. But you remember it was like deep. We had deep conversations.
I think so.
About life, love, what we want.
I'm sure.
Yeah. We laughed, of course, which is important for us. But
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, let's continue. What else?
This is a saga.
I know, it's a saga.
It's a movie.
If you're still here, like, I hope you're enjoying
I know, it's
this.
a movie.
It is.
I could see someone at home like pulling up a spreadsheet, tracking the amount of interactions we've had.
Okay, wait. So we then would go on like 2 dates per week, right?
Correct.
Like, I saw you really consistently. We texted, we called, we voice noted. Like, we were like basically since we kissed, we've been in constant communication.
We have been.
You and I.
We have been.
Like, when we're not together, we're texting, we're calling, we're voice noting.
Exactly.
It's balanced, so it's not like obsessive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was during those early days, you're saying?
I'm saying since I've met you, I've been talking to you every single day.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
well, now it's full on.
Well, yeah, but like even when we were like, we're not sure where this is going, we would still communicate.
We would text
daily.
every day, and I went away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so he, like 3 weeks into us dating, he went on tour for 3 weeks. And before he went on tour, 2 things happened.
I love the way you say tour.
Tour. 2 things happened. You introduced me to your parents.
That was before the tour.
Yes.
I do remember that.
That was before we were.
It's crazy.
Had any
Within
titles.
a couple weeks.
3 weeks in, you introduced me to your parents.
And my family, they live in the city, and they've obviously been very curious and excited for me to meet someone.
Yep.
Like the amount of texts I have, we can't wait to, because my sister's married, and they've always wanted it to make dinner reservations for 6 people instead of 5.
He was the fifth wheel.
And so they knew about you. My sister had met you at my birthday party.
Yep.
And it was just a random day. It was I think my mom's birthday, and they're like, just tell Marin to stop by. And so cool. There was no second guessing. You're like, I'm there.
Yeah,
and you stopped by for tea.
I came through.
And
it was quick. It was short and sweet. It was perfect.
Exactly. Short and sweet. And, walking into the environment, Jewish parents, woof, you handled it like a pro. And
thank you.
Got rave reviews after.
Yeah.
So
I love your family. They're great.
They love you.
Yeah. No, they're really cool. And then before you went on tour, the night before, you were like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm not seeing anyone else. And then you're like, let's be exclusive. Did you say the word exclusive?
I don't know if I said the word exclusive. I think you made a comment, how does it feel that you can't meet other girls on the tour?
Yeah, because he's about to go on tour. And I'm like...
And I was like, it feels amazing. I don't want to meet any other girls.
Did I start
right?
it? I thought you started it.
I forget the exact... I didn't say like, let's be...
You didn't say that. No, you were like...
We said we're not dating other people.
I
didn't use the word exclusive, I don't think. Did I?
No. I think what happened was I said, like, how does it feel knowing you, like, can't go hook up with other girls on tour?
Yes.
And then, like, an hour later, you were like, hey, just so you know, like, I don't want to see anyone else. I hope you don't either.
Was that a text or a call? Or that was
No,
together?
it
we were
was
just together.
in person, IRL.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And then I was like, because I used to tell people never be exclusive.
Right.
And then with you, I was just like, of course, like we're together. So
there was no, at that time.
Why do you think you did? Like, because
why do you think we jumped into not dating other people so fast?
No. Because I didn't date anyone else from the moment I kissed you.
Same.
And so not that, but like, I think for me at 3 weeks in, I did not feel like it was the right time to be like boyfriend, girlfriend.
I agree.
But for people who might have questions, like why did you say like, let's not see anyone else? And why did you not just say like, will you be my girlfriend at that point in time?
It's a good question because it was, looking back, it should, like, why not just say boyfriend, girlfriend? I think sometimes we overthink the
verbiage,
the titles, the verbiage, exclusive, boyfriend, girlfriend. And
the title, yeah.
I know. I think I described it to my friends like, it's almost like it was the 9th inning, top of the 9th, and we were about to be boyfriend, girlfriend. Then I just like bounced for 3 weeks. Like
True.
1 or 2 more hangs, and we were full on boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
But right before that happened, I was traveling for a couple of weeks for this thing.
Yeah, so he was on tour for 3 weeks. It was fine.
It was fine. I
Like,
know
we
it was.
just called, we FaceTimed.
We called, we FaceTimed.
It was distance for us.
It was distance. I called you a little more than you called me.
I never called him once. And he
You were
wishes
still playing the game.
I was playing games, and he told me afterwards, he's like, I wish you would have called me. And I love that you communicate so openly, but like,
I know.
I was of the mindset, like, the guy always should call first.
And now you call me a lot.
Now I call
great.
you, but like, I had to break some old toxic patterns, which you helped me do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. No, we were in touch throughout, and we were excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, which was another test. And
then you got back.
then I get back.
Wait, on tour though, you met my mom and my sister without me.
Correct.
And I think that's a good thing. I think people should meet family
cool.
members without the significant
That
other
was
there.
really cool and unique. And
Yeah.
so I was in your home state of Minnesota. Beautiful, interesting state.
Okay.
But I love it. People there
Yeah.
are very friendly. And your mom and sister came to my show, and they were amazing, and it just went really well. I think it went really well.
I think it went well.
I just want to spend more time with them.
They loved
you.
you.
Aw.
They absolutely loved
I love
you.
them. And they saw my show can take a lot of inappropriate directions.
Yeah,
and They were
updating.
very cool with it. So
My mom, I was like, you realize like this show is gonna be raunchy, and my mom's like, I've already watched like 4 episodes.
Oh
like
my
she
God, we love
was
that. Yeah.
stalking you from the minute we started
love it.
dating.
I remember the question I asked your mom about you. I think I asked her if you were always going to be in New York City, girl.
Yeah.
And she said yes. Like from the moment, like mom was always starry-eyed for the big city.
Totally.
I thought that was cool.
That's a cool question too. You're good with parents.
Aw.
You're a schmoozer.
So are you.
Thank you. Look at us.
You were ready for me to say so are you.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Okay, so going back to our timeline, blah, blah, blah.
It's an epic tale.
Okay, let's talk about when you asked me to be your girlfriend.
Okay, so I get back and then
yes,
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And we planned this epic Valentine's Day.
He's a good date planner. Like you planned bathhouse. We did bathhouse,
We've
which
both
is
been working on the
bathhouse
plan.
is like a little like there's a lot of couples making out.
A lot of
in the pools.
It was steamy.
It was very steamy.
Steamy, literally and metaphorically. Steamy.
Both, yeah.
And then we grabbed sushi after, and it was just a great Valentine's Day. I don't think we had a glass of alcohol. We
didn't.
We didn't.
We barely drink together.
Which is cool. And then later that night, that's when I asked boyfriend, girlfriend.
So do you want to say how you asked?
You can say it.
He goes, what does it mean to be a couple?
My heart is always, in these intense moments, my heart's, you think you're going to be this like confident, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend, but you're still a little nervous. I was nervous. So
I like it.
I always do like these little preambles.
You do.
I was like, so what do you think it means to be boyfriend, girlfriend?
Is that what you said? I think you said boyfriend,
What does it mean to be a
girlfriend.
couple? Which is that's such a ridiculous question.
I don't even know what I said, but as soon as he said that, I knew he
you
was
said
about.
you blacked out.
I did, but I remember as soon as he said that, I knew what was coming. And I remember like we were laying down watching a movie, and I like popped up, and I was like, "You need to ask me."
And you're like, ask me the question.
I know.
You're like, ask me the question. Just
I really
ask it.
wanted to be asked.
I love it, and then I did.
I'm cheesy.
And then I did, and everything was just going so well. Like
Yeah.
anytime we'd seen each other, it was just so easy. And we haven't talked about that too much yet. But every time it's just so easy. And that to me was like the number one sign that this should be your girlfriend.
Totally. So we were 6 weeks. We were 6 weeks into dating.
Correct.
So a lot of people like to know the timeline.
You're right.
I don't know why I can't talk, but a lot of people want to know like how soon is too soon. Like when should you do it? I think 6 weeks was perfect.
I think it was perfect.
It felt natural.
Felt natural. Felt right. We were also
Yeah.
going to Tokyo 2 weeks later.
Yep. I thought you were gonna ask me in Tokyo, but
I wanted to
instead
get
you
it
said
done
something
before.
different.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, now that I think about it, I brought you to a friend's wedding thing.
The night after.
I think it was earlier.
No.
Oh, it was the night after.
Yeah.
And I think in my head, I was thinking, wait, how am I introducing Marin? This is Marin. This is the girl I'm seeing. This is my girlfriend.
It's extra.
We need titles are kind of helpful.
I think titles are healthy.
Healthy.
Because
I
it
like that.
communicates intention. It communicates
I love
commitment. Yeah.
Without doubt.
Okay. So then let's keep going. So we became boyfriend, girlfriend. I loved the title. I love having a boyfriend.
Oh, I know.
Do you like having a girlfriend?
I love having a girlfriend.
It's
I
so
love having
fun.
you as my girlfriend.
Wait, you're so cute. Okay. So then we went to Tokyo together. What did you think about the Tokyo trip?
What else
Do you
can I
recommend
say?
going that soon into a relationship?
What else can I say?
Yeah.
It was one of the best trips of my life.
Okay.
Hopefully for you too.
It was
And
amazing.
It
I
was
loved
just
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that we went on this insane adventure that I think I was talking to my parents. Most couples might not do a trip like that
For
until
years.
a couple years into the relationship, and we were already going. We're like, let's just do it, And
Were you nervous?
I wasn't
I was a little.
You were?
I was so comfortable with you, but I'm
know.
like, what if something goes bad?
I know.
I don't know why.
And the big thing people were saying is Tokyo is going to be the make or break, right?
Totally.
Did people told you that?
They
Friends,
told me that,
family.
but then that made me
They're
feel
like, look, if that
pressure.
trip goes well, you guys are going to be in a great place. You'll learn a lot during this trip if you guys are meant to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So we get to Tokyo. I feel like we travel well together.
Travel well together.
We had our first.
You want to talk about the voice note we did?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the voice note.
So before the trip,
Okay.
I could be cheesy. We're both great balances of cheesy.
I think we are
You
very
have a
balanced.
cheesy side,
I
right?
do, of
Yeah.
course. I think that's why we're so aligned.
Compatible.
Yeah.
And before the trip, we decided to do a time capsule. So we each independently did a 5-minute voice note, expectations for the trip. What do we think is going to go right? Predictions. Will we have any fight or arguments during the trip?
Yeah.
And the plan was not to share it until the flight home, 8 days later. And I just thought it was cool.
So in the voice note, I remember when they were like, "What's
Second time the producers,
Oh my God.
gleefully teary-eyed. Right
Okay.
now.
But in the voice note, I did take a risk because I said, I think on this trip, Harrison's going to tell me he loves me. And I'm like, and if he doesn't tell me he loves me, I'm going to tell him on the last day. Because I had to hedge my bet. Like, I had to be like, here's the thing. Like, if he doesn't, I'm going to do it because I do love him. But that was risky because we could have went to Tokyo and you could have not said it. I didn't know for sure.
I know. And it's cool that you were going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
And I think we just got to Tokyo. It was the elephant in the room.
It was.
It was the elephant in the room.
It was the big old elephant.
We're in Japan together.
I know.
We're obviously getting very close together. This needs to be said.
So on like the third or fourth day, we wake up in the morning and Harrison has another question.
I don't even know what I said.
I think you said, what does it mean to be in love? Or like,
Why do I do these things?
I don't know.
What does it mean?
You always put me on the spot.
What does it mean?
Because now I have to like give like a dissertation.
I think it's the storytelling part of me.
I think it's cool.
So what does it mean to be in love? And then you said, I don't know.
No, I felt like I said something.
What did you say?
I forgot. Because I always black out because it's like an
during
intense
these
moment.
key moments. Yeah.
I know. That's why we should always record.
Did you get teary-eyed during this moment? We both did, maybe a little.
I think I've been more teary-eyed apart from you.
I agree.
About our relationship.
Which is cool.
Than in front of you.
Which is healthy.
Yeah.
So then you said, I love you. And then it was, I think you knew maybe a tiny bit before me.
I knew I loved you before
interesting.
you loved me.
I think so.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So I knew I loved him like a week before the trip because we spent the whole afternoon planning. We went to the Marlton Hotel. If you are looking for a cool hotel to go work from there. And we like planned the trip and we planned it so well together. And then he was walking me to the subway. And then we were about to say bye. And like I was going to go down on the subway. He was going to walk home. And I was like, okay, bye. And then like I felt like in my head, like I wanted to say I love you. And then I was like, oh shit, I love him. So that's when I knew. When did you know?
That's from a Rom Com.
I know.
I knew right around then too. I think the icing on the cake, we did a dinner with some of my closest friends in the city.
Yeah.
And, I think early days when you're doing what we were doing, you're forgetting about friends, family, not forgetting about them.
It's a honeymoon.
It's the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Where
you're
it's
like
just you
hibernating
two.
together.
Yeah. And you have to like, we call it the vortex.
Yeah.
And for both of us, friends and family are so important. So I was genuinely excited for them to just be as enthralled with you as I am.
Yeah, it's like an
And it was like,
integration.
that was really nice. So we had a dinner with friends and that I think was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Which
That's
was great.
cute.
Yeah. I think one of my buddies was like, there was just an aura around you too.
That's so cute. I love that. But I also love that I admitted that I loved you first.
I love that too.
Yeah. Do you think the girl?
We don't need rules.
I know we don't need rules. Do you think the girl should say it first?
No, I think whoever says it.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because if I would have said it to you first,
right?
You would have. What if I said it to you before you realized you loved me? What would you have said back?
Probably, I love you.
You would have said it. Like, come on.
Yeah, probably would.
Yeah, I can't imagine you
that would
being
have been
like,
awkward.
I don't
be
know.
like, hey, let me have one more meeting or one more date before I can say. No, I think just say it back. And
unless you really.
It was refreshing saying, and we're both lovers, and we're both. I think it's not our first rodeos, and we loved each other's people before we started dating.
Totally. That's so cute.
What a rom-com.
So the voice
what
thing,
is love? Just one question for you, during that.
Okay.
Like what's the difference for you, love versus liking someone? Like when that changed to love.
Wait, that's really profound. I don't know if I'm equipped to answer this right now. I have to like really think. What do you think?
You gotta answer it first.
I know. I think when you like really are just, I think it's a feeling, and it's inexplicable. It's just a feeling.
It's a great answer.
Because I didn't have the like compulsion to say I love you every other time we parted ways. And then all of a sudden one time we parted ways, and I was like, no, I don't want to separate.
I think the key thing is like truly when you just want to be around that person all the time.
Yeah,
like 24/7. Like that's one part of that transition.
Yeah. And you just like
Ooh,
care about
I like
them.
putting you on the spot.
I know, and then I always try to turn it back around. I'm like, well, what do you think? Okay, so then the voice note. You also said you loved me before we went to Tokyo. You
Correct.
said like
no,
a bunch,
I said in the voice note.
stuff.
I said I think we'll say love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
What a story.
I know.
I mean, even hearing us talk about it.
So what's been the best part about getting into a relationship?
With you?
Yeah.
Just
or
in
just
general?
generally. Either or.
So, or should we talk about after Tokyo? Or no, we'll talk about, no.
Let's finish Tokyo.
I like the question. So best part about getting into a relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, so many reasons. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
It just makes your life more full. I
Yeah.
feel like there's almost like a greater purpose. You instantly have a new category of a best friend, right? And I've always thought that like your partner is like, you have your best friends, you have your family, hopefully you're best friends with them too. But your romantic partner, when they turn into your best friend, it's a whole different type of best friend that you're always thinking about, always around. I think the support system's powerful. And also like it's cool being on a team too, right? Whether it's meeting up with other couples.
Lots of double dates.
Lots of double dates. And again, being single, look, you make the most. If you're a positive thinker, you make the most of it. Like the key is like not settling and being excited to meet someone. I am on my vision board meeting someone. I think you did too. We might be making new vision boards now that we have met someone.
I know.
But we were just both so in sync.
I love that.
Yeah.
So going back to Tokyo, what do you want to talk about? What else should we
I don't
wrap?
know. That was kind of it. Right?
Tokyo was like amazing. It was life changing. Like Harrison's first time in Asia.
We OD'd on sushi.
Too much sushi. By the end, like I just wanted pizza and sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't want to eat. I don't think we've had sushi in New York since.
No, we haven't.
We're not having.
We're
it
giving
for
it
a year.
another month, maybe
another
year.
month.
Yeah.
And I think we fully got hit by the travel bug.
Yep.
We're so in sync with that. I mean, you're very well traveled. That's one of the things I love most about you, and my family too. My grandpa.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to sit down with Marin to talk about her trip to Vietnam. Like, I have questions for her.
One thing that I love about you is that you love to travel and that you're fully committed to traveling the next couple of years for sure. If not like our whole lives.
I want to go
course,
everywhere with you.
Right.
I want to see the world.
Right.
And it's one of those, that I will say, if you're single, it's just, you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it, but if you can hold off on going to some of these amazing places until you meet someone.
So I saved Paris until I was in love, and now we're going to Paris this summer.
I'm excited.
We have like a long list. So if you have any travel recommendations for us, we're looking for.
We will go anywhere.
Yeah.
Besides Antarctica.
There's places we won't go if it's like too unstable.
I agree.
But
safe.
Yeah, as long as it's safe, we'll go.
Yeah.
Like we're open to every culture.
I agree.
Yeah. So Tokyo was amazing.
Love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you, baby. I got this
in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. Yeah. Great shopping.
Yeah, the shopping's amazing in Tokyo. People should go to Tokyo.
Go to Tokyo. If you're listening, it is a utopian big city. It's clean. It's safe.
It's quiet.
People are kinder than any type of people you've ever met.
Yeah.
We had chefs chase us down the street
just to say thank you.
Just to say thank you for coming to their establishment. just a really awesome, just an awesome experience. Life is a little bit easier when you're traveling too.
It is. I mean, you're just like enjoying life.
You're just enjoying life, and it was
Yeah.
my first vacation, like years, maybe a decade.
Yeah.
True vacation.
And we did have a little bit of a fight in Tokyo.
Ooh,
remember?
Did we?
So I snoozed the alarm when we were supposed to go to Omakase.
Oh, okay. I booked this omakase and we did some delegating before the trip, but omakase, I was like, you know what? I'll just book this. Found a great spot. And I'm not even a foodie.
I was jet lagged.
I'm not even this like fancy, like when you say the word omakase, like any person who says omakase, it sounds like you're a foodie. Omakase.
It sounds so fancy.
I'm not even a fancy, like we could have had sushi on the street.
Totally.
I would have been fine. But Marin wanted omakase.
I did want it.
So I booked omakase.
Thank you.
And we made this reservation. We took a nap, jet lag, whatever. And Marin set the alarm. She woke up, her alarm went off, and instead of waking me up or just click snooze, we woke up. It was like an hour, 2 hours after our reservation. And we showed up at the restaurant. They said, no.
They're like, sorry. That's not how omakase works, apparently.
This was my
I was like, let's just go now.
I knew nothing about omakase.
It's like supposed to be like, the chef
Do you think
is
it's overrated, omakase?
I think a little bit.
A little bit.
I think you should order what you want to order.
I agree.
Foodies are probably like hating me right now.
No, the omakase thing's insane. What omakase should be, the second you have a good roll, when you have the 12 different ones,
you
should just say,
yes.
I'm canceling the other 7 random eel-y things you're bringing, and I'm just going to eat this.
I agree. I think also we're so compatible because like we think the same about a lot of things.
I was going to say that.
Totally.
And for those listening, when our travel and social interests are extremely similar. We weren't trying to go to these museums for like 5 hours, reading stuff. You and I just wanted to like integrate ourselves into the city.
Yeah.
Walk around. We probably went to 6 or 7 coffee shops and just sat there and like drank lattes. Like, those aren't touristy things.
Yeah.
Like if we saw tourists walking left, we went right.
Totally.
So and I thought that was really cool about you.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I had to bring up the fight. It's just too funny.
I like it. It's relatable.
Do you want to know what? It lasted for 5 minutes.
And looking back, it was health. It's healthy.
It's healthy.
It's so healthy.
We can't just
if we're
be
at this point right now,
blissful.
doing this recording, we're deep in our relationship now at this point. What a movie. If we have had no little fights or arguments,
that'd be crazy.
That would not be healthy. And that would be a red flag, honestly. I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because we have to have conflict.
Because then we would be so starry-eyed that we wouldn't be on the ground floor.
Or we'd be both repressing.
Right.
Like because something could bother you. And if we don't say it to each other, because I say it too when something bothers me.
I agree.
But if we don't say it, then like we're repressing it. And then all of a sudden it comes out later.
I agree.
And it's like a bigger thing. Just say it in the moment.
And I always tell you this.
Yeah.
Like, it's so healthy. If we have something to say to each other, just say it. It's the healthiest thing possible.
I agree.
Like, if you think this shirt's too wrinkly, just yell at me. I'll get it de-wrinkled.
You're so funny. Okay. Do you miss anything about being single?
No.
Nothing?
No,
Wow.
I really don't. I really don't.
That's the cutest answer ever.
I really don't. There's not one. I think it was very exciting to lean those dating apps.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was very exciting. Trying to think. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I love all of it. Socially,
Emotionally.
maybe I sneezed a couple times less.
He is, you are allergic to Archie.
Tiny bit.
We're working through it.
We're working through it. We're figuring that out. It's
okay.
worth it.
Okay. That's cute. Wait, did I already ask you what the best thing is? You already said, yeah. Okay.
Do you miss anything?
About being single?
Yeah.
No. I was so ready.
I love it.
Like, it had to be the right person, though. That's the thing. Like, I wasn't willing just to end up with anyone.
I agree.
But I was ready to find the right person.
I agree.
So.
I cannot agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think timing is really
I think
good.
our timing was perfect.
I'm just grateful we found each other
Me
because
too.
there's not many people like us, and we're in a similar space, and like we're
both in dating.
in a way, and it's hopefully I've been asking you enough questions.
No, you have.
Yeah.
I've been
you ask
talking
great
a lot.
questions. Marin's a great interview.
Aw, thank you, babe.
I remember after the first interview, I texted Brandon, who was going on. Marin's an incredible interview, and then he texted me after you interviewed him, and was like, "She's phenomenal questions."
Wow. Thank you both. How do you feel about my 28 dates in February and that content being out there?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Was this an audience question?
It was.
Okay.
So now we're moving to the audience questions.
Now we're moving to the audience
Yeah.
questions. Honestly, I think it's badass, to be honest. I've always been attracted to creative people.
Yep.
And go-getters, and
Yeah.
the fact that you just did this and you started your business around it, like those to me were huge green flags.
Yeah.
Like not only did you get followers and develop an audience, but you were savvy enough to say, hey, I don't want just followers for the sake of followers. Like I'm going to start a business with this. That to me was a huge turn on, honestly.
Okay.
And the fact that you didn't, have I sat down? Am I going to watch all 28 of those videos? No.
No?
I don't think I've seen, because I don't want to hear you talk about other
No.
guys you were with.
I like
right?
that. Yeah.
But I respect it at the highest level.
Yeah. I think it's toxic to like constantly bring up past dating
Yeah.
experiences
We're
when you're
kinda-
dating someone new.
I agree.
Like just be in the moment,
Just
move
be in the
forward.
moment. Yeah.
Whenever I accidentally bring something up, Harrison always says TMI, and I
always
love
say
it.
TMI in like a silly way. And,
Yeah.
And I think you and I do a great job of being in the moment.
We do.
And even in Tokyo, like we said, hey, I'm grateful for this moment many times during
Yeah.
this trip. We should do it in New York more often too.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do it now?
No, we have a limited amount of time. Okay, so someone asked, how did you get past him being a comedian? Any unalignment of values? I think Harrison is the coolest person I've met. Like I don't know. Like I feel like yes, you're on stage, you're funny, you are like in a sense a comedian, but I feel like that's just one piece of the puzzle. Like you're a producer, you're a writer, you're a
Yeah, I don't do the
co-host,
traditional
entertainer.
stand-up stuff.
No.
Yeah.
And then I honestly think we have the same values. I
We
don't
do.
think there's any like hardcore unaligned part of us.
No. I think you're just a genuinely like kind person. And I think a lot of people don't have that on their lists of things that they want enough, right?
Yep.
And that's an incredible value. Those
Yeah.
family values.
I
We
agree.
both have family values.
We both are family values,
Yeah.
friends values,
Right.
ambitious.
Right.
This person said, did you have conversations about intimacy early, and what did that look like?
What do you mean intimacy?
I don't know. Did we talk about intimacy?
Physical intimacy?
I'm guessing.
My opinion with that kind of stuff is you don't have the conversation. You don't discuss it. Just let it flow.
Just do
kinda,
it.
Right?
Yeah.
I've always been that.
Yeah.
Like we don't sit down and say like, oh, like
Yeah.
this is
I think for us, I no longer do the 90-day rule. I don't subscribe to it at all
you do
anymore.
the 2-year rule now.
I'm now up to the 2-year rule. So no. Yeah, I think we just like knew each other. We trusted each other. We did it at what felt right for us. And that's that on that.
I agree. I mean, like your journal says, you need all types of
Connection. It can't just be like we're really intellectual and we.
I agree. You can't just have an intellectual, emotional.
Yes, there has to be obviously the physical piece. Did either of you have early dating anxiety before official? If so, how did you overcome it?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't. I mean, our timeline's just been a little. I mean, we've had an interesting timeline. Like, it was heating up, then I bounced for a couple weeks, then it heated up again, and then we went across the world for a week.
Yeah.
So.
But you're securely attached.
I'm securely attached. I haven't had any anxiety about our relationship.
Neither.
Like zero, which is so bizarre for me.
Are you usually anxious?
I've been in the past.
Okay.
I mean, I think we all have a little bit of anxiety about life and random stuff, but dating wise, for sure. Not with you though. It's always just been so natural. Before, I mean, the only anxiety I had with you was when we were friends and I was waking up in the middle of the night, like make a move, like what's going on? And what about you?
I had like slight anxiety at the beginning because I'm anxiously attached, but then like you were so consistent that it like went to no anxiety.
Aw.
Yeah. That's why if you're anxiously attached, you should be with a secure guy who then makes you feel secure. And then you don't have to worry about that.
I didn't play games.
You didn't. You were so straightforward.
Very straightforward.
There was never one moment where I was like, he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend yet.
Right. Or where you're wondering what I mean from a text or something.
Oh no, we clarified everything.
Yeah.
You were very transparent. But we're up to time, so we'll just have to do a part 2 at some point.
Oh.
I mean, we're on this journey, so thank you, Harrison. I know you're busy. You're busy and important. Did you want to ask one last question?
Do you want me to ask you a question?
Anything
I wrote down a couple
like
rapid fires. I wrote down funny rapid fires.
Right, ask one. I'm sure everyone's dying to hear it.
Okay, what would be the hottest thing I could cook for you?
Make me pasta.
Pasta? Mm-hmm. Okay, I can actually do pasta.
I love pasta.
What random snack could I surprise you with?
I love popcorn.
I love that. What store, if I blindfolded you, brought you into a store and you open, you're like, you brought me to my favorite store. What would that be?
That's a really good. Right now, we share one of our favorite stores.
Vince?
No, Mango.
Mango?
Mango. We love Mango. He has a mango jacket.
What is your favorite song of all time that would instantly cheer you up, if anything, if we needed to play it?
Whoa, that's a hard question. Can you answer that one?
Marvin Gaye, maybe? That's a tough one.
I can't think of anything.
Okay, last question for you. More of a semi-serious one.
Okay.
Which side of you do you think I haven't seen yet?
I think that you've seen all my sides.
I love that.
I think that if anything, like maybe...
We'll keep learning about each other.
I don't know. Like maybe...
I mean, we should always be learning about
There's probably
things.
a side you haven't seen. We're in the honeymoon phase, so let's...
Are we?
I don't know. I think so.
We're scared.
Are you scared?
I don't think we're in the honeymoon phase.
You think we've exited?
Yeah,
okay.
I do. I mean, but it's going so well that like it's not this. If it is the honeymoon phase, like I don't see it fading.
Yeah, I agree. I think though, like as we continue to progress.
I mean, life brings you different challenges and things. But,
yeah. How should we end this?
It's a good question.
It's so hard.
This is tough.
I
don't want to
going.
leave.
I know.
We're good on these.
Yeah. We're going to do a part 2 for sure.
I just want people listening to be like, oh.
I hope that they like us together.
I hope so too.
Okay, last question. Do you feel vulnerable like putting our relationship out to the public?
No, I really don't.
Good.
I mean, it's interesting for me and just where my career has gone too to like be dating you because I started my creating journey writing about my dating life.
Yeah, so we're the same.
We're so similar. And then I paused that for 6 years and I didn't put anything about my dating life out there because I focused on my show and going to business, and that's about other people's dating lives. And now I'm back.
Now he's back, baby. So we truly are the same. And he basically was 28 dates before 28 dates. So
many a moon ago. Yours was way bigger.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Aw. And shout out to Archie.
Yeah.
If you're listening, we love you.
We love you.
I love you, Archie.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye.
That was good.
That was really good.